everyone, and welcome to Meowmix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
And today is our draft profile day. We'll be talking about Ikem Ekwonu, left tackle out of NC State.
Yeah. Local boy, born here in Charlotte. Before we get started on him, I do want to read this one comment that was posted on our Kenny Pickett video because it literally made me bust out laughing when I read it. Keith wrote, if they draft Pickett at the likely expense of shoring up this O-line again, I'll look forward to constantly exclaiming, "Oh my God, they killed Kitty!" I busted out laughing when I read that. I am sorry. That was just too good, and that is, sadly, if we do draft Kenny Pickett, every time he gets sacked, I will probably be saying that.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I think we should just say it anyway, regardless of who's back there. I think it's just funny. Yeah, it works.
Oh my God, you killed Sammy!
We have now talked about how many players here? 4 players. This is our 5th player that we're going to be talking about here in our draft profiles. We've gone through, this will be our 3rd offensive lineman. We've done 2 quarterbacks. And honestly, that's kind of what I would expect the Panthers to be focusing on here in the draft is going to be offensive lineman or quarterback in the first round, depending on if they trade back or not. So this is, I think, the second of 3 offensive tackles that should go within the top 6.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the other one here probably in a couple of weeks.
There's 3 elite tackles from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Right. And the good news is one of them should be available. I mean,
right. And I've seen mocks with all 3, with Ekwonu falling, with Neal falling, and then who's across? Charles Cross, the other one. I've seen a lot of them with him. It seems like he's sort of most mock drafts. I see him at 6.
Yeah, I see him as a kind of 3rd tackle, but then I see a lot of big boards where he's the number 1 tackle in people's eyes. So
right.
Very excited.
And the combine starts. Yeah, the combine starts this weekend. A lot of things will come clear then. There may be another tackle or offensive line player that shoots up the draft boards. Lindenbaum may blow people away and suddenly become a top 5 prospect at center, who we've already talked about. So, we'll keep an eye on that. And next week when we do our next draft profile, we'll kind of do a little recap of the combine and see where everybody falls if we adjust our rankings or not. But let's talk about Ikem here, Jerry.
Yeah, Ikem Edwonu was born and raised here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and was a 3-star recruit coming out of Providence Day High School. He received multiple offers, but ultimately decided to stay close to home and go to NC State. There, he would take over the left tackle spot his freshman year and never look back. He finished the 2021 season as a unanimous All-American, first-team All-ACC, and earned the moniker Most Feared Lineman in the ACC by The Athletic. 2020 second-team All-ACC at guard and tackle. I mean, he's racking up those. He's very impressive.
He's impressive, Jerry, and he also is good at guard and tackle.
Yeah.
So he's versatile. And you know who loves versatility on the offensive line, Jerry? Matt Rule.
Everyone kept saying he's a projected guard as draft profiles, but I'm like, everything I read, he could play guard, but he's a left tackle. It's like, why question it? Yeah. Not to be mean, but
I've seen some of that too. I've seen some people where it seems like his size, how big he is,
and how powerful he is.
Yeah, lends him to just being like an elite guard. But he's an elite left tackle.
Yeah.
In college. And seems like that's going to translate. We'll talk about some of his pros and cons here in a minute, but he is extremely talented, and he is really a natural fit at left tackle. I don't see why you would want to even try him at guard.
Yeah, I don't either. I think you stick him at that left tackle spot and forbid if something really, this guy just can't get over, because we'll talk about his cons here in a little bit. Yeah. Then you could slide him inside. But you don't want... He's a top 10 left tackle prospect. Like, come on.
Yeah. He's 6'4", 320. and that's a junior out of NC State. So he's a big boy, but again, he's extremely athletic. He's got very good technique. We'll talk about all that stuff here in a minute. Just looking at his stats again, it's kind of hard to really drive in on statistics for these
Mm-hmm.
offensive linemen, but a couple things you can look at. He played every game, stayed healthy throughout all college, which is great. Um, Gave up no sacks in 2019, 7 sacks in 2020, where he primarily played a left tackle, but also played a good bit of guard. And then 3 sacks in 2021. So he definitely improved there. Improved a lot on his pass blocking in 2021. And he's pretty much an elite run blocker anyway. If you look at his hurries, I mean, real consistent 13 in 2019, 13 in 2020, and then 10 in 2021. And again, PFF grades, if you care about that sort of thing, 80 in 2019 and 2021, jumped all the way up to a 91.6, one of the highest rated left tackles in college football. And again, his pass blocking grade is elite, elite, elite. So,
Did you say
yeah,
pass blocking or run blocking?
his run blocking, excuse
Oh,
me, his
okay.
run blocking grades are elite, very elite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big mamma jamma. He's let's just jump into the pros and cons. He is extremely powerful. Everything he pushes and mauls people when he gets his hands on them. He's a former wrestler. Uh, Excellent run blocker. I mean, he's probably elite run blocker on left tackle side.
Yep.
Long arms, has great hand technique. Um,
Long arms, Jerry.
Long arms. Guess what? Matt Rule.
There
You
you
know,
go.
every time I see something about arm length, I have to put it in on these tackles.
Of course, yeah. In fact, I was looking for the length of his arms. I was sitting there searching the internet trying to find that because I just wanted to put it in here. But I
We're
guess
gonna,
we won't know for sure until the combine.
yeah. After this weekend, we're gonna decide who Matt Rule wants by their arm length.
Yep, we're just
Yeah.
gonna rank them by arm length. Yep, and that's every position, not just tackle. We're gonna go with quarterback. Yeah, everything.
Powerful lower body, able to push guys around.
Mm-hmm.
3 year starter at left tackle and got better each year. He did have that dip with the 7 sacks, but his PFF grade did get better and his pass blocking got better. It just didn't show up as much as the sacks. Ability to fit in any blocking scheme. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be power or anything else. He can play zone power. Uh, he he comes from a family of athletes. His twin brother plays linebacker at Notre Dame. His father played college basketball in Nigeria, and his mother was a track star in high school. And his dad was a college football player too, and was like a 6'6", massive man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I put that in there kind of late. I thought it was interesting. I like when you got lineage, and you've got not professional players with his dad and his mom, but they performed at a very high level when they were in college and high school. So I do like that he comes from a family of athletes. That makes me, I don't know, I just like that, so I put it in there. But yeah, it's definitely a pro.
I'm telling you right now, I saw a picture of him and his family, and yeah, the
Yeah,
sons look so athletic. Like
yeah,
they look like mountain of people, like to a
yeah,
me looking
yeah.
up.
Looking at a couple of cons here. He is inconsistent on his passing technique. Again, he's gotten better
Hmm.
over the years in his college. And honestly, if his run blocking wasn't so elite, I don't think you'd be saying much about his pass blocking because it's still good.
Hmm.
He's still very above average
But
pass blocking.
he may not. If his run blocking wasn't there, he may not be a top 10 pick. He would probably be more
Probably,
like a
yeah, probably.
top 15, top 20.
Sure, yeah. So he does, that is what he has to work on. Footwork needs a little improvement against speed rushers. One of the things I noticed about him was he is elite, elite when he can get off first
Hmm.
and get kind of into the defensive backfield a little bit. Um,
It's that
but if
power,
he's going to
man.
get somebody really fast who gets off quicker than him, he does struggle a little bit. So again, a lot of that is just technique.
Yeah.
That they'll coach that into him in the NFL. And then agility and mobility are above average, but again, not elite. A lot of that again is technique. So not
And
too concerned with any of
and
that.
you could coach that.
Yeah.
That is what a Coach Campen is for. To coach
And
that up.
some of that might be drop 10 pounds,
Yeah.
and you get a little faster. They might just need to narrow down where his weight works in the NFL.
Yeah, we always do cons, and I hate doing it on some of these really elite type of prospects because you're like, we're nitpicking, but that's what you have to do.
Well, hey, these guys, and again, it's not that saying that this is why we don't like these guys. We love this guy. I would be pumped if this was our sixth pick.
Absolutely.
But he's coming from college and he's going into the NFL, and there are things that he's going to have to work on. So, again, not a big deal. But I mean, he obviously is. He's a beast. He's huge. He's a local guy, which doesn't make any difference to me really. But some people like that. Some people like that he kind of grew up around here.
I like it for the simple fact that he may be surrounded by family and stuff like that. That kind of helps keep him grounded instead of going out to a new city all by himself or bringing his, hanger-oners.
Friends.
Yeah. Especially for O-linemen, because everything I've ever always heard is the O-linemen are really down-to-earth, chill guys.
Yeah. Definitely not like the wide receiver crew.
No.
So yeah, that is true. I didn't really think about that, but that is definitely a pro if you're looking for a guy to transition a little easier, maybe is to be close to home.
Be close, mom's there, dad's there, brother's up in Notre Dame, but I mean, like, it's nice, I guess.
Right. All right, so we always do our questions here about each player. And this one's pretty easy. I mean, does this player fit the current roster?
Yeah.
This is why we're talking about these offensive linemen, is because it's a huge need for the Panthers.
Yeah. It's like a big black hole on that offensive line minus Taylor Moton.
Yep. Will this player fall to the Panthers at 6? I don't know.
This is the one I really have.
If he put a gun to my head, I would say no. I would put a gun to my head. I think he's probably a top 5 pick.
I think it goes to the Giants before the Panthers. So I would lead 70% no, because I think the Giants really like him.
Now, Gettleman's not there anymore. So you wonder if the new GM that's coming in is going to want to separate himself a little bit from the Hog Molly man himself and maybe not go big offensive lineman.
But they need offensive line.
They do.
Gettleman may have loved the hog. Gettleman loved the Hog Mollies, but he couldn't pick them.
Yeah, but he did love them.
Yeah. I mean, Vernon Butler in the first round. There you go.
Oh my God, Vernon Butler. Would you be excited to draft this player? Well, we've said that. Yes.
Yeah. And another Hog Molly, Kelvin Benjamin. Okay, sorry.
He turned into a Hog Molly for sure. I think we should change that question to I think maybe we talked about this. Would you be excited to draft this player at 6?
We could change that.
Yeah, let's change that for the ones. I mean, it doesn't really come into play here, but yes, I would be happy to stay at 6 if this is the guy we got.
Oh yeah, I would too. He's a really talented elite prospect in a position of need. So yeah, I would say yes.
Looking at the big board.
Big board, real quick, running it down. Evan Neal, offensive tackle, Alabama's number 1. Tyler Linderbaum, center, Iowa, is number 2. Kenny Pickett, quarterback from Pitt, is number 3. And Malik Willis, QB, Liberty, is at number 4. I know where I want to place him, and I would place him right below Evan Neal. I heard a lot of people talk about him and want to put him above there, and that was before I did my, research. So once I started getting into it, I want whatever quarterback to get a better passing left tackle right now. I think I would be ecstatic with Ekwonu, but I'd prefer Evan Neal over him.
Yeah, I was thinking of having him at 1, but I agree. I think Evan Neal's pass blocking is just better enough to where I think I would rather have him, and I would put him above Linderbaum.
Yeah.
At 2. So I think 2 is where he fits.
All right. Any last thoughts on Ikem? Or anything, actually. Just, we're signing off.
No, I'm looking forward to the combine. I'm hoping and I fully expect that there's going to be some guys that I haven't really been thinking about. They're going to stand out. And if nothing else, they're going to make me do some more research and see who these guys are. And I think we'll probably add 2 or 3 guys to our draft profile list that we want to talk about.
Yeah, our profile list is growing and growing because that
Yeah.
Northern Iowa kid I don't think originally had on there, but we got to add him. So
Yeah, so just keep an eye on the combine. If anybody out there, you see anybody that you think we should be targeting at 6 or really anywhere in, I would say like the top 20 of the first round, or a surprise that you think we could get later on that you want us to kind of mention. I think we're going to probably do an episode, usually we do, where we talk about some later round guys that, the Panthers should take a flyer on. One of those being Tommy Tremble from last year.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that. And another one, I think we had, who was the XFL player we drafted? Kenny Robinson.
Kenny Robinson. Yeah, we both focused in on Kenny Robinson. Yep. Unfortunately, he has not panned out as much as we hoped.
No, but I heard that they clocked him on the GPS going 20 miles an hour. So,
well, that's slow if a tight end's doing it and a safety.
Right. All right, I think that's going to do it.
Yeah, and we're going to probably start coming out with these more, especially once the combine is done, because we could get a little bit more information. Mm-hmm. And we've got like close to 20 now before the draft, so that's a month and a half away. We want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at Meowmix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. And if you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on the show. Next episode, we'll be looking at safety, Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame.
That'll be a fun episode.
Some people are saying he's the best player in the draft, regardless of position. So I'm excited to watch his highlights.
Mm-hmm. Same here. I'm wondering if he's like going to be a Jamal Adams type, where his impact on the game from that position. So I'm interested. I'm looking forward to looking into him because I haven't really yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah, I don't expect him to be a target, but so yeah, looking forward to that. And until next time, everyone stay safe out there and keep pounding.